This is Unit 4 Review, Video, Part 1. This is graphing. The directions read, sketch the graph of each line. This first equation is y equals x plus 3. Notice there's no number in front of x, so we are going to input r1. I'm going to write down our y-intercept, which is 0, 3, positive. I'm going to write down our slope, which is 1, making it into a fraction over 1. This tells us that we're going to go up and right for our directions. So, starting at our y-intercept, 0, 3, following our directions, up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, again, up 1, right 1, and up 1, right 1. I would like some points over on this side, so instead of going up, I'm going to go down, make that negative, and instead of going right, I am going to go left, make that negative. So going back to our y-intercept, down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1, down 1, left 1. Plenty of points connecting them with a line and arrows. Next, number 2, this equation reads y equals 2/5 x minus 1. Let's put our y-intercept, 0, negative 1. Our slope is 2 over 5. 2 means up because it's positive. 5 means right because it's positive. Let's put our directions to go the opposite directions, so down and left. Going back to our y-intercept, 0, negative 1, 0, negative 1. Following our first set of directions, up 2, 1 from our y-intercept, up 2, 1, 2, and right 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, making a point. Let's do these set of directions going back to 0, negative 1, down 2, 1, 2, and left 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Making a line, connecting with arrows. This is a positive slope, this is a positive slope, and we're good. Going on to number 3. This equation reads y equals negative 4/5 x minus 3. Notice I gave the negative to the 4, the number in the numerator. Let's write down our y-intercept, 0, negative 3. There's our negative 3. Let's write down our slope, negative 4 over 5. Notice again, I gave my negative to that 4 in the numerator, so this means down and right. Doing the opposite, instead of going down, I'm going to go up. And instead of going right, I am now going to go left. And now notice my negative has moved down to my denominator. Going back to our y-intercept, 0, negative 3, 0, 1, 2, negative 3. From here, doing my first set of directions, down 4, 1, 2, 3. Let's just extend our graph one more, 4. And then going right 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just extended my graph a little bit. And then let's do our next set of directions, up 4 and left 5, going back to our y-intercept, up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and right left 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to connect these points. And we are not going to be using this point. That was just to help me do my directions and extend my graph. Here's our line. It is a negative slope. It is a negative slope, and we are correct. Going on to number 4. This equation reads y equals 1/2 x. Notice I don't have a y-intercept here, so we're going to insert our plus 0. So our start point is at 0, 0. Our slope is 1/2. 1 is up, 2 is right. Opposite, we go down, and we go left. So let's go back to our y-intercept, 0, 0. Up 1 and right 2, up 1, right 2. I can do it one more time, up 1, right 2. Then back to our y-intercept. Let's do the opposite. back to 0, 0, down 1 and left 2, down 1 and left 2, and I'm going to connect the points, put some arrows on. And there's our first worksheet. So this is graphing y equals mx plus b, slope-intercept form. If we turn the page, we are going to continue graphing, except we're going to be graphing using X and Y intercepts. This is the X-intercept of 4, so we have 4, 0. So we're going to go to the x-axis. We're going to go to 4, 4, 0. That's 1 point. Our y-intercept is -2, so that's the point 0, -2. So we're going to go on the y-axis to -2. 2 points, make a line, connect both of those, and we have our line. The next example has an x-intercept of -4, so we are going to write -4, 0 on the x-axis, go to -4 and make a point. Then we have a y-intercept of -1, so we have 0, -1, going to -1, 2 points, form a line, a little bit straighter, there we go. So we have -4 on the x, -1 on the y, and we have our line. Our last two graphing equations, we have 2x minus y equals 2. I'm going to do the work down here. 2x minus y equals 2. This is in ax plus by equals c form, which is standard form. So we are going to have to find our x and y intercepts. So we're going to find our x-intercept first. That means that we're going to have to find the value of x. So I'm going to write down 2x minus y equals 2. In order to find what x is, I cross it out. 2x equals 2. Divide both sides by 2. X equals 1. So let's rewrite over. This is our x-intercept, so here's the point 1, 0. So on our x-axis, I'm going to go to 1, 0. Now we're going to find our y-intercept. Let's rewrite the equation. 2x minus y equals 2. We need to find the value of y, so let's cross that out. This is really -1y, because we're going to put our 1's in. So I'm going to rewrite this as -1y equals 2. We need the value of y, so let's divide both sides by -1. So y equals -2, because 2 divided by -1 is -2. And this is the point 0, -2. So I'm going to go up to my graph and plot 0, -2. 2 points, we have one line, arrows, and a line. And our last graphing equation for this review is 3x plus 2y equals -6. Again, standard form, ax plus by equals c. We're going to have to find our x-intercept. So we write 3x plus 2y equals -6. To find our x, we're going to cross out our y. 3x equals 6, -6. Divide both sides by 3. X equals -6 divided by 3, which is 2. Again, writing that in a point, 2, 0. Let's go back up and mark 2, 0. Oh, actually, I made a mistake. This is -6. So this would give us a -2. And that's a -2 here on that point. So let's go and fix this. And let's go on the x-axis and go to -2. Good thing I caught that. Now we're going to go to our y-intercept. We're going to write down the equation. 3x plus 2y equals -6. We need to find what our y is, so we cross out our x. 2y equals -6. Divide both sides by 2. Cross that out. Y equals, now being careful of our negatives, -6 divided by 2 is -3. Writing that in a point, 0, -3. That's our y-intercept. Going up here, going down to -3. We have 2 points. Let's make one line, and we've graphed. So that was our first part of our review. Moving on to Unit 4 Review Video Part 2. The directions say write the slope-intercept form of the equation of each line. So here we have point-slope form, and we're going to be going into slope-intercept form. I also have a separate video of how to do this, if you would like to go and review that video. So this is for our review. Number 1 reads y plus 3 equals negative 2 times the quantity x plus 1. First, we must get rid of these parentheses, so let's multiply our negative 2 by the x and the positive 1. This is distributing. I like to bring down my y plus 3 and my equal sign so I don't forget about it. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. I'm almost there. I need y all by itself, but I have this plus 3. So to undo that, I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. Bringing down my y, bringing down my equal sign, bringing down my negative 2x. Combining these, negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. So now I have it in slope-intercept form. Y equals negative 2x minus 5. Next, y equals positive, another mistake. Let me read it again. Y plus 5 equals 1/4 times the quantity x plus 4. Again, let's distribute the 1/4. Let's bring down our y plus 5, our equal sign. 1/4 times x is 1/4 x. 1/4 times 4 is going to be positive 1. Remember, when we multiply fractions, 1/4 times 4, we make the 4 into a fraction. Multiply the numerators, 4 times 1 is 4. Multiply the denominators, 4 times 1 is 4. And when we reduce, 4 divided by 4 is going to be 1. So that's how you would do the multiplication of fractions. Back to the problem, we're not done yet. We still need to subtract 5 from both sides because it's being added. Bring down our y, our equal sign, our 1/4 x. 1 minus 5 is negative 4. So our answer is y equals 1/4 x minus 4. Number 3, y minus 1 equals 3 times the quantity x minus 1. Multiply 3 times the x and 3 times the negative 1. Let's bring down our y minus 1 and our equal sign. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. Let's add 1 to both sides. Cross it out. Y equals 3x minus 2. Negative 3 plus 1 is negative 2. So minus 2. Multiply 2/3 times x minus 3. Let's bring down our y plus 3 equals 2/3 x. This is positive times a negative, so minus 2. Again, multiplying 2/3 times negative 3 into a fraction. 2 times negative 3, negative 6. 3 times 1, 3. Reduce negative 2. So that's what I put here, minus 2. We're not done yet. I still need to subtract my 3 from both sides. Bring down my y, my equals, my 2/3 x, and negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. Number 5, multiply our 3/4. So bring down my y minus 2 equals 3/4 x minus 3. Add my 2, add 2 to both sides. Y equals 3/4 x minus 1. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. And last, multiply my 3/5. Y plus 5 equals 3/5 x plus 3 minus 5 minus 5. Cross out y equals 3/5 x minus 2. And here we go for solving. If you need more help, remember to ask me, or you may review this video. Next, we have part 3, which is our last part of this review. This is going to be a scenario where we're going to be having to write in standard form some substitution, some predictions, and we are going to have to graph. So here's our scenario. Your school is sponsoring a pancake dinner to raise money for a field trip. You estimate that 200 adults and 400 children will attend. Let X represent the cost of an adult ticket and Y represent the cost of a child's ticket. Your school needs to raise $2,800. Part A, write an equation in standard form. Well, we have 200 adults and X is the cost of an adult's ticket. So that's going to be 200 times X. 400 children, Y represent the cost of a child. So we're going to add in 400Y. And we need to raise $2,800 equals 2,800. Here's our standard form. Let's use the standard form to answer the following questions. If an adult ticket costs $8, how much should we charge for a child's ticket? So we have an adult ticket that's $8. So if we remember, the adult is the X variable. So we're going to be substituting in 200 times 8 because 8 was the X variable plus 400 Y equals 2800. We want to find Y, which is what the question was asking the child. So we multiply, we're going to get 1600 plus 400Y equals 2,800. Subtract 1,600 from both sides, minus 1,600. Let's bring down our 400y. Let's bring down our equals. We're going to get 1,200. Dividing both sides by 400. Y equals 1,200 divided by 400 is 3. So Y equals 3. So child's ticket will cost $3 when adult pay $8 per ticket. Next, we have to find the X-Intercept, and I kind of wrote through that. What does this represent? So finding the X-Intercept, let's write down 200 X plus 400 Y equals 2800. Remember the X-Intercept, so we're going to cross out the 400. So we're going to get 200X equals 2800. Divide both sides by 200. X is going to equal 14. So that's what our X is. I'm just going to rewrite the answer down here. So this X-Intercept represents adult ticket cost $14 if no children attend. Remember that, no children attend. That's very important because for our Y value, that means that our Y was 0, which means no children. So only adults go, they're going to have to charge $14 per ticket for adults. Let's find out our Y-intercept. So we're going to do the same type of process, except we're going to cancel out our X term now. Writing our equation down, crossing out our X. 400Y equals 2800. Divide both sides by 400. Y is going to equal 7. Write my answer down here. Children's ticket will cost $7 if no adults attend. So no adults are attending. And here's my sentence. Children's ticket will cost $7 if no adults attend. Now our last step is going to be graph the equation using your intercepts. So we're going to have to put a nice scale on here. Notice my intercepts are going to be my X-intercept, let's first write this down, is going to be 14.0, and my Y-intercept is going to be 0.7. So we are only working in the first quadrant. I'm actually going to count by ones. This is going to be X, so this is the adult cost. I'm going to label my X. And this is the children's cost. This is my Y. I'm going to count by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I went over a little bit. Notice I'm not skipping. I just went every single one. And I'm going to do the same for my Y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 12, 13, 14. Again, I went over a little bit. So first, our X-intercepts. 14. So actually, I'm going to have to keep going on here. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There we go. Much better. So our X-intercept is 14, 0. So I'm going to go to 14, 0, and that's that point right there on the X-axis. My Y-intercept is 0, 7. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to 0, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 2 points. Create a line. So on this line, this is any combination of children ticket and adult ticket cost. And there's my graph. So this was part 3 of our review. You will find on your review, answer keys are going to be attached so we can check our work. Thank you very much. I hope this was helpful, and good luck on your assessment.